The Cowboys versus the Eagles week, it is one of the things that battles are battles, and we got to make sure that we are on the right page of everything, Cowboy Nation. Now, with that being said, this is a situation and scenario that these games are equivalent to must-win games that we have down the stretch. And I said before, we can't win all 7 games in a row right now. You got to win 1 game in a row. And you got to take care of business right now, and you can't play around with your food. Now, the Cowboys lost to the Eagles on the first week. I think the final score was 20-24, right? And it seems as if, though, we lost the game more than they won the game. And I know how that feels in Cowboy Nation. But without hesitations to this, there was a quick report out there by an Eagles beat reporter or an Eagles guy, and he did a roster breakdown. And from there, I'm looking right at it, Eagles versus Cowboys week 12. They got this status elite, average, and bad. They got the quarterback of the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, a little bit ahead of Jalen Carter. Oh, my bad. Jalen Hurts. All of these damn Jalen's on the Eagles, boy. They got everybody named Jalen, right? Jalen versus Tyler is basically what's going to happen. But when you look at the running back, they got their running back slightly above ours. But right now, technically, my guy Javonte Williams is having a better season than Saquon Barkley. But that's a whole nother conversation. If they want to put their running back groups ahead of ours, that's okay. That's cool. It's just about any given Sunday. Of course, according to the tight ends, they do have Dallas Goedert just ahead of us slightly, right? And then the wide receiver groupings. Of course, the Cowboys, by far, got one of the best tandems in the National Football League. Keep in mind, I think CeeDee Lamb missed 3 or 4 games, right? 3 games at the most, right? And if you count the game that he got hurt in, he missed about 4.5 games, basically, if you count all of that. And then if you look at the O-line for your mind, they're kind of equal. The Eagles been on a sliding board situation as it relates to their O-line. They haven't been performing up to the kind of caliber of what they're accustomed to seeing. But that's okay. Hey, for every great nation, there's a fall, right? And I'm not saying that the Cowboys going to have this subpar O-line down the stretch, but we are slightly better than them. D-line, they got this gap a little bit too big, man. I don't think that now we have an average D-line. I don't think that at all. I think that when you have to quantify the fact that you got Quentin Williams, you got Kenny Clark, you got Osa coming in, and then the nail-biter, the Perrion Winfrey. If you like what we did against the Raiders, and I get all of that, but if you like what they did against the Raiders, I'm quite sure that you can pretty much do it on all and everything, right? And on top of that, if you look at the linebackers, of course, they have their linebackers way ahead of ours, and which is good because at the end of the day, I know where our defense been at, right? Safeties and these sorts of things. And granted, they got the coaching staff a little bit ahead of ours. We are average right now. But far as the Eagles claiming that the fact that they got an elite coaching staff, that's a whole nother conversation. But I would rather be where we are at right now as far as expectations and move up and then hit people with the element of surprise more than anything, Cowboy Nation. That's how I look at it. So let's not fall into the traps of things. But since we are pressed for time and we have another show at the top of the hour, Cowboys Collective, I want to see all of y'all beautiful faces there. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Let's listen in to Rain Dakota Prescott for a quick second on his thoughts on everything, and I appreciate y'all.
Playoff game. So just explain, the thought process going into that. CD said that you guys have to look at this game as a playoff game. So just explain, the thought process going into that and just how Shotty's mantra is being 0-0 starting every week.
Yeah, just on the simple fact of the position that we put ourselves in, understanding for us to get into this postseason, what we have to do. And right now, sure, we control
Mic
it,
check.
but that means we have to go win every game. And
no doubt.
Like the CD said, it's like a playoff game. And whether Shotty at 0-0 or however you want to think about it, all of these are must win. But we got to take them one at a time. And right now it's Philly, hell of an opponent, great division rival. and no better place to start than right now to get it
Can you
rolling.
officially address?
No better place than to start right here, Cowboy Nation. Here's what I got to say from this particular angle. He said what I've been saying in the last few days. Every game, you got to have the mindset that this is a playoff game. That if you saying that you are who you are, and you got the pieces and the resources on offense and as well as defense. And I get it. We still got the unknown as it relates to our secondary. But one thing I can say, if the Cowboys are serious about this right here, then this is what they got to do right there at this point. Play through the echoes of the whistle. Make sure that you leave no food on the table. You got to be hungry. And as they say, when you're hungry, you don't give a dog what the food come from. If it's on the table or on the floor, you eating it. And the Cowboys better have that mentality and saying to themselves, hey, we lost to this team week 1. We looking forward to get our lick back.
Address the hip, though. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm fine. Got hit in the game, fell on it, happened early in the game, played the whole game throughout it. It's a physical game, was sore. I've been full. I was full participant today, and I'll be completely fine. Played with much more soreness.
If this was a normal week, would it have been, would you even have been on the injury report?
Probably not, yeah. Saying that, 2 days later I was just full today, yeah, probably not.
How much fun are you having right now with the weapons you got with Pickens and CD, even in the running game?
Yeah, so much fun. Yeah, you just said it, and the running game, right? Just to be balanced and, to go without that for some years in your career. It was tough, and just to have it again.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Come on with it. Let me know. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all heard that.
And, yeah, you said it. It's fun. And just obviously we got playmakers out there that make my job easier. Just get them the ball, watch these guys run. But it's all 11 of us. Whoever's out there and then the guys that come in. It's the people that are making it fun, too. Guys that really care, guys that want to block, that want to support, want to do their job, whatever it is, even when it's, unseen, to make sure that the other guy's making a play. And just a lot of unselfishness out there, and that makes it fun, and everybody wants to eat.
Knowing you don't.
You hear that? Everybody wants to eat.
Out of the way first. You are probably going to pass Tony for the franchise record for yards passing. I just wondered how you reflected on that when you consider how you started this, how your career started with replacing Tony and all those years ago, and you're on the verge of doing that.
He don't give a dog about that. He don't give a dog about that. The whole Tony Romo thing, I mean, what we accomplished with that. This man is about legacy of winning championships, not trying to get all of these stats. And I get the questioning there. He only need, 130 to 160 yards, give or take, and he would surpass Tony Romo. What we want, a cookie for that? Something that we can talk about far as Tony Romo, who played 14 seasons, 14 years here.
I'm humbled, thankful to be healthy and to be in this position to do it. I was on the production call earlier, and they asked me the same thing, what I've thought this 10 years ago. And I said, yeah, I was very arrogant as a rookie. So
Yeah.
when you play in this game long enough and you can stay healthy with my expectations of what my play is, that's supposed to happen. So just thankful, humbled, super grateful to be playing the game I love at this high of level, and to still be doing it, and just look forward to keep going. That any of those I plan to, that'll happen.
It seemed like this season you've been chipping away completions, attempts. Is there one of these records that's more special than the other? I mean, passing yards all time.
Winning games, Clarence. Winning games. These Cowboys are 4-5-1. We trying to get 5-5-1. Look, we ain't trying to kiss sisters over here. I get it. They got to do these things for clicks. But at the end of the day, what we need to do against the doggone Eagles, how can we go up against that particular defense that got a resurgence as it relates to Jalen Phillips? They got Jalen Carter. They got Jalix Hunts or whatever whatever that guy's name on the other side. How can we defeat those things? All of this stuff is allegory.
The passing yards is a big number. I don't know if that was more special than others or.
I'd probably say I'd take the most pride in completion percentage. And that's just that's something that's hard to do. It's hard to do every year, each game, and that's something that, I mean, I actually don't think about the long haul of it. I just go in every game, honestly, trying to get 80, and that's such a steep number, but that's what I want. And I mean, I think I've told you all that after games, right? Like any incompletion I don't like unless it's a good one, right? I have to throw it away and live to the next play. So that's probably one I can be the most proud of. The rest of them, like I said, when you're playing this game long enough, I think you should to an extent.
You've talked about supporting George staying here, talking to the owner if necessary. Has there been a moment yet where he's had the kind of game that justifies doing that during the season, or is that something for the offseason where you try to figure out how to get George to take less or Jerry to get more?
I mean, I think that'd be priority in the offseason. Right now, yeah, it hasn't come up. Obviously, probably it has, maybe joking here and there, whether it be to George or whether it be to Jerry. And so all positive talks and conversations I would feel would start that the right way. But I'm all in for it, and yeah, it's a must.
Dak, with the records, do you feel like you're able to share some of those accomplishments just with the other guys, the guys catching the passes, and do you hear from any of the old guys?
Old guys as in?
Like a Witten or something like that.
I mean, yeah, we all stay in touch. I wouldn't say it's about that. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's about that. If there's one big cheerleader supporter I've got, is my guy Sean Lee, and he'll message me often and even after games at times. So that's cool, but it's definitely something to be shared. And right, whether it be with CD, whether it be with Amari, had a big part of it, right? All these receivers. I mean, Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
At Darren_Posey_SR $5. Law, are you on board with bringing tight braids Cooks back? #Riggs. I can't take this no mo.
Who Cooks? You talking about Dalvin Cooks? You want to bring him back into the fold? Why would we even do that? What would be the notion to bring in a running back at this point? I think that we are okay with what we have, by the way. Javonte Williams, I like what he can do. Malik Davis, I like what he can do running in between the splits and bouncing to the outside. We would need a heavy dosage of Malik Davis, by the way. And on top of that, let's figure out ways to get Jalen Blue back into the folds. But everything else, hey, it is for what it is. Leave Dalvin Cook on the side, Are you talking about Brandon Cooks? He cooked, man. Brandon Cooks cooked, man. Why y'all want to bring up old stuff, man? That would be working against the grain. You got Trayshawn Holden. If anything, you bring him up and elevate him up. We already got the Tiny Boys. Hey, y'all know who the Tiny Boys are. Kevontae Turpin. We got smaller wide receivers, which I get it. I would rather have Dalvin Cook. Not Dalvin Cook, but Trayshawn Holden into the folds, or to a degree, give more and more snaps and more opportunities to Ron Flanoy. But no, let's not go backwards, baby.
At
Let's move forward.
Darren_Posey_SR $5. No people are talking about bringing Brandon Cooks back.
Okay, so where would you place him? Like for those who watch tape and break down film and analysis, where are you gonna put a 5'8" guy who's about 2 or 3 steps behind? And shout out to him, he still got a house in the crib over here in Dallas. But where would you place him? Yeah, we just gotta ask the real things. Like, where would you place him? Who you taking off the field for, right? And on top of that, we already got continuity and rapport with the guys that we already have. Why would we tread backwards into this situation, right? If anything, if Cooks wanted to be here, he would have taken less money and not taken more money to go down there to Saints land or whatever he went to. So, no, the answer is no. Move on. If anything, I saw more from Trayshawn Holden to a degree, Jonathan Mingo to a degree, and as well as Ryan Flanoy. And any of those boys. Look, his time has gone into the sunsets of reality, that he's a real good person off the field, but on the field the last 2 seasons been dragging us downward. And I'm not finna go back and forth with bringing in cooks or any of the cooks. The only thing that we need to be cooking over here is the defense, trying to get things back, and them stop asking these crazy questionings about Dak Prescott and his records.
Played a big part in any of these records, right? Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferg, Witten, like so many of them. So I'm just a product of a lot of great players, and that's my point. When you play a long time and you play with the standard and the expectations that I have, you should accomplish these type of things.
With the Fangio defenses, I know that's been tough battles at times. How does he make it tough on you, and do you relish?
Yeah, super excited. I love playing against his teams, his defenses, especially since he's been with the Eagles. We only have had one of them, but yeah, you've got to relish him. He's a hell of a play caller over there. He's always putting together a good defense, and what they do is just they're sound. They're super sound. They know all their calls. They communicate without having to talk, and for us, it's important just to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's, no self-inflicted wounds, and starting fast.
What does Jalen Carter's going to be around for this game? What kind of impact do you think he has for that defense?
A huge impact. Obviously, it starts right there with him in the middle. He's the main reason why they don't feel like they have to blitz, that they can get pressure with just 4 guys. Hell of a player. We're fortunate in the first game to obviously not go against him, but I know he'll be ready to go and fired up for this one, so excited for it.
Dad, are you doing anything special for my cause, my cleats?
Am I?
Yeah.
As in like my design?
Yeah, design or like...
Yeah, my foundation, Faith Fight Finish, we partnered with Baylor Scott and White again, and yeah, doing another design about like getting screening, see the unseen. And so super cool cleats my guy Jake did, and yeah, super pumped to reveal them.
You haven't beaten a team with a winning record, even a 500 record. Does that matter? Instead of you facing 3 straight games coming up against.
Yeah, we've got to. We've got to go get one of those wins. So does it matter that we haven't? No, not necessarily.
Get them, Dak.
But that can't be the same conversation next week or the week after that. We've got to go get it done. I mean, this league is tough, and the records really, honestly, don't matter. We know we're playing a hell of a team, a good team. And it's a rival game, division game, so it's about coming in there and just being the best version of us, and it's time to win one of those games.
How do you explain?
No doubt. Shoot, y'all bring back T-Will. T.O. can still run a 4.340, I heard. He probably run a 4.5 at this point. T.O., man, chisel Ladondas out there. Reading y'all comments as Dak Prescott talk about this, but how can we win this game? We win this game by focusing in on the Eagles, right? And they did ask some good questionings there, like Jalen Carter. What would your thought processing be to slow down Jalen Carter, right? You ain't gonna. There are some players in the league that you will not be able to stop, but there are some players that you can slow down. I got a super chat. Appreciate y'all so much, man. Somebody said bring back Peyton Hendershot. Boy, y'all just joking and running on. Y'all running along with it now. But Sanjay states need to utilize span forward more. Whenever he runs block, there is usually a big run. Get him more involved in the passing game. Yes, Cowboys have a tendency to hold on to players a little too long and to release players a little too late, right? But when you start to think of it, and I'm not beating up Schoonmaker, I think that he's a nice, brilliant person when you speak to him. But being nice and brilliant do not create separation. It do not block for you down the field. It do not win you games. This guy, span forward, I'm so sick and tired of seeing his tape on the good side and him getting only a spoonful of reps is crazy to me. And on top of that, he is one of the guys that I know for sure that's down the stretch that there are other guys that's better than Schoonmaker that didn't even make this part and this far down on the team. And his name is Fairweather. Who remember Fairweather? Or whatever that kid's name. Fairweather, over Schoonmaker, I would take Spanford, Fairweather, Princeton Fant. I would take all of those guys. And it's crazy that they are still holding on to Schoonmaker because he was a second-round draft pick, and it's crazy to me. Whereas I would have just threw him in, and I hope that nobody take any offense to this, but I would just threw him in as a consolation prize. Him and Mozzie over to the Jets. I would have just said, hey, Jets, you have any room for a Schoon and a Maker? I would have been able to just throw him out there and been able to get more and more reps, more and more opportunities to Fant and Fairweather. There's nobody that can point out any tape, whether it's if they've been to training camp or if they've seen any preseason tape, that Schoonmaker have the right to be there. I'm just saying, though, and I'm not beating up Schoonmaker. Mama Maker, Daddy Maker, I'm not getting at your son. But what I'm saying is that Fairweather and Fant gave a more display of football, physicality, and route running than what we seen out of a Schoon and a Maker, right? That's all I'm saying. And, hey, you know what I'm saying? My nickname was Backbreaker back in the day, so come on with it. So I may be a maker myself.
Losing to a division opponent for, I think it's 8 years, you haven't personally lost to one at home. Like, they're familiar with you, but you keep getting wins. How do you explain that?
At home.
Keep it rolling. Being detailed, dialed in, understanding your opponent. I think that's as much as anything is understanding your opponent. You see these guys twice a year. It's hard to beat any team in the league twice. And so I think that plays a big part in it. Me being comfortable with what I'm going to get, who I'm playing, just being a student of the game that getting to these games and allows us to have the best chance. But I want that same record on the road, too. Shit.
Dak, boy, he wild with it.
_Posey_SR $5. Law, in my opinion, the no-huddle offense will have Davis and Carter big back asses tired. We can also keep running at them.
Yeah, there were a stretch of games that Carter was out of shape. So a lot of people said, and shout out to my guy John Machota, he said the difference maker in week 1 is that you didn't have a Jalen Carter. But it came to show you guys that like week 2, week 3, he was hand on the knees, sweating tired because he wasn't in physical shape, right? He wasn't in football shape. Now Carter is a little bit more in shape. But what you got to watch out for the Eagles is the Ojo kid from Texas. I think that he gives you a more of an impact in the game versus a Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is nice. Yeah. He's nice. But he's only nice for about 15 strong reps at the max. To the max, 15 reps. And after that, the law of diminishing rates of return settles and bestowed upon him more than anybody else. You get what I'm saying? So, yes, you keep him running. You tire him out. You keep them boys from substituting. You tire them out. But what their equalizer is all about is the linebackers. Them boys are flying. Paris to a point, and then 53, all of them boys flying around, boy. They flying around to the ball, and that's what keeps them afloat, or the linebackers, believe it or not, because they know for sure that the front four is going to be able to occupy space, and they got free lanes.
Long time NFL.
Me being comfortable with what I'm going to get, who I'm playing, just being a student of the game that getting to these games and allows us to have the best chance. But I want that same record on the road too. Shit.
Long time NFL coach.
For context, because I do know I stopped that. Dak Prescott is 21-2. That's what they're saying against the NFC East opponents. 21-2 at the house. All right, and I don't know the 2 games that he lost. Y'all can pull that up. I'm quite sure it could have been probably one being the Giants and one probably being the Eagles at the crib. Dak do light it up at the crib. The only game to come to mind at the house that we didn't play up to the level that we should have been the Arizona Cardinals, right? And that's something that maybe we blame the red stripe on the helmet. I don't know. But we were slow. We didn't look poised. We were not polished. It looked like we were deflated against that Cardinals game to the point that even Stephen A. Smith in that elongated head was like, hey, hey, Jerry, I'm going to get on up out of here. You get what I'm saying? So it is for what it is. It was 2017 D'Angelo Brown, and, okay, appreciate you. Yeah. 6-1 versus Eagles at the house. Okay. Appreciate y'all, Yeah.
Tom Moore, offensive guy, obviously. He's got this saying about.
Oh, so it was the Giants in 2016 and the Eagles in 2017. Ooh, that's a long time. Well, come on. Jeez.
There's completion out there somewhere. It's up to you to find it with quarterbacks. Do you feel that way in this offense, or is it maybe different because you have a certain thing that you're going to on every play?
No, I definitely feel that way. And to Tom's point, and especially when you have an athletic quarterback or a guy that can run, I mean, 4 or 5 yards is a completion too when you're just running right and staying ahead of the chains. That's being in tune to exactly your play call, to what is my whole point. The play caller's purpose is what Shotty's trying to get done here and what he's trying to attack, and if not, knowing exactly where your outlets are and your check downs and playing against the pass rush, right? When you do that as well, you understand that taking a little short completion out there can get you a lot and serve as a big play later, something you can compliment off of. A lot of respect for Tom Moore. I love that.
Are you seeing anything different from the defense in practice now that Quinnen's in the fold? Are they showing more signs of?
Keep it to yourself, Dak. Keep that to yourself. Let me see what he gonna say.
Life or success or things that we saw against the Raiders?
I've got all belief in what they're doing, the way that they're working to get better. Obviously, adding the pieces and just building off of this last game. However, at practice, I'm tuned in to the offensive stuff, and usually when the defense is up, talking more offensive ball. So don't want to give you anything away, or wouldn't anyway. So
that's my naysayer right there, boy. Yeah.
Swallow that.
I ain't gonna give you nothing. No way, Jose.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
I haven't heard this interview, by the way. So this is my first time listening to this. D'Angelo, I believe, says, I don't know Dak Prescott record versus Vic Fangio. To a degree, unfortunately, he haven't beat a Vic Fangio's defense. Now, to be fair, I think we had Vic Fangio against the ropes when it was time to play him in Miami land, right? Miami land, we had him against the ropes. It's just that, was it Chuma Edoga had them glitches, and he just said, hey, go get the quarterback. And it was a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. We fumbled right at the 1 yard line. Hunter Luebke 40 ounce. And then there was another time, I think just first game of the season. You can argue that if CeeDee Lamb can just hold on to the ball, he would have been able to beat Vic Fangio's defense. So I'm thinking that this defense can get gotten, right? It's just for what it is. And sometimes it's like that. I was remembering that Patrick Mahomes was 8-0 versus Vic Fangio's defense until they went to the Super Bowl. I said, damn, I guess he was close to his loss. So he's now 8-1 or 8-9. He's now 8-2 versus Vic Fangio defense, and that's Pat Mahomes because they lost earlier this year. But it is for what it is.
Sounds of the sideline is out. Speaking of Quinnen, looks like you were having some fun watching him playing his debut. Just talk about just the energy that he helps infuse into that side of the ball.
Yeah, tons of energy. You get a guy like that that's just a pure disruptor. Even when he's not making the play, he's having an effect on it, and I'm sure that's where some of my reactions were, is just even the plays that he wasn't the one getting the sack on or making the play, of just how much chaos he was causing and how fast he was doing it in the backfield. And I mean, he's a guy you can't block with one person, and having played against him a couple of times, we understand that. And so getting that on our team, on our side, it's awesome. It serves us well.
Eberflus was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to try to hit him with the phone over there. That boy pulling out the phone like it's a – I ain't going to say that word. Well, like it's a knife.
Having 3 defensive tackles like that, the value in terms of pass rush,
yeah.
It's immediate in the quarterback's face. maybe more disruptive than even an edge guy coming.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we always talk about protecting the A and the B gaps, and right, that's what you, as a quarterback, that's what you're going to feel a lot more,
Right.
A lot quicker than you are those edge pieces. Not only that, right, those edge pieces, you feel like you can get up and you can get out, or you can escape over the top. When the pressure's coming right there in your lap, it's very, very tough to figure out how to get out of that and, to see downfield. And so I think when you have that effect, it works. That's probably the hardest, easy or best way to affect the quarterback is through the middle.
That Eagles secondary, I mean.
You ain't offered me that. Sorry.
No, just two young ascending quarterbacks, just their cornerbacks and just their second year. I mean, it'd be one thing to have one guy, that age ascending, but to have both, and then you mix them with Jackson with a veteran there. But how do you see that secondary? Certainly they benefit from that pass rush, but.
Yeah, most definitely. I see a group that understands their defense and understands the pass rush and understands that they can be aggressive because those guys up front do get home, and that allows them to be handsy. That allows them to sit on routes and gives them tons of confidence. I've got two guys going out there and a bunch of other guys that I feel confident in the matchup that we're going to have. And so for me, it's about playing against the pass rush and letting those guys attack.
Dak, who are the point guards you admired watching growing up?
The point guards I admired. It's a good question.
Bro, wait a minute. Who? Hey, man, we tried to get the Eagles talk going, man. What are you talking about point and the guards, man? What's going on with this, man? Oh, my gosh, man. What is going on? Okay.
Question. Steve Nash, definitely. Who else? Chris Paul, point guard. I like LeBron when he's at point. I can go LeBron, right? Yeah, I like LeBron at point. There's a whole point when he goes. He goes to point guard.
Yeah.
And facilitates.
Sort of Jordan.
Yeah.
Not really.
What's your point? What's your point? Okay, so what? What's your point?
Jeez, man. We talking basketball, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Did you always feel like a point guard playing quarterback? Did you always think that was what it was like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's my job to facilitate the ball, to get the ball to other people. I know sometimes the word manager, right, is looked down upon when you put on a quarterback, but that's what we are. It's your job to manage when you get it to the other guys, at what time, who's hot, which matchups you need to take advantage of, and whether you go back to them over and over or you go a compliment off of that. Yeah, very much so. Always felt that way, and even when I've played pickup basketball, I've enjoyed passing the ball and facilitating, and something like getting a guy open for a shot or a big play in football.
When you left Philly after that opener, 4-point loss, what do you remember just the general feeling being, and you feel like you left some stuff out there?
I remember just being super thankful and blessed to be back on the field. Honestly, I knew we let one get away, but there was no confidence loss. Wasn't sad, pissed off for sure, frustrated a little bit in some of the plays. But being game one, I was just super excited and pumped, knowing what we had ahead of us and the team that we had.
Dak be rocking, don't it?
Looking forward to this week.
What are you going to say to Jalen Carter, if anything, when you see him for the first time since week 1?
Depends on what he says first, but probably something friendly. Get on his good side there.
Dak, not to look too far ahead in the upcoming stretch, but do you feel these next 3 games could really be defining this team's season, knowing 3 games you guys have coming up compared to the opponents?
Yeah, they will be defining. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, and buts about it. Knowing where we put ourselves, what we have to do. After these 3 games, we'll either have given ourselves a good shot or put ourselves in a hole. So I don't think that'll be really a discussion.
All right.
Yeah, man, some of those things, man, just time fillers, I guess. And I'm not beating up them boys, boy. What's your favorite shade of lipstick? It was like, wait a minute. Like, where do these questionings come from? Do you reverse when you drive into your garage, or do you drive straight in? Like, what does this got to do with the Cowboys versus Eagles? You get what I'm saying? Man, how do you tie your shoelaces? Is it inner loop or outer loop? What are you doing there? Okay, come on. Cowboys versus the Eagles this week is something that, this is a definitive game that you got to showcase your talent. You got to showcase this is why you're here. And I get the other questioning of the Cowboys haven't beaten a team that's above 500, right? So what that implies, that we're not a good team? Well, the Eagles get a chance to see not a good team then, 4-5-1. So how can we change that narrative? Well, we go up there, we show out, we showcase the talent that we got, and we bring it all on the field. Don't leave nothing behind. And then we showcase to them that we are just as hungry and we can get things moving and grooving, Cowboy Nation. All right, let me see what we have here. Appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. We will have this to talk about. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can bring this up. Malik Hooker made an impactful play against the Raiders. And let's listen to this right quick. Let me see.
Hooker is a big difference maker for them in terms of what they do in the run game. It's something that whenever I watch Hooker, he's obviously always been kind of a center fielder type. So he was at Ohio State. His big thing was just going after the ball. When he first came into the league, I was certain he was going to injure his shoulder at some point because he just so recklessly would kind of throw his shoulder. He has become such a really strong, patient defender, the way he sees things in the run and the way when he's asked to play more up in the box like Eberflus has been asking him to do. And that really gives you something on the third level of your defense against the run that you haven't had. Like guys who are playing patient and aren't going to olay you a little bit like some other guys have done in that secondary before. He has become, for me, since I don't really consider Wilson a deep player, he's physical, but I don't consider him a deep player. If you want to talk about the guys who are deep players, he, for me, has replaced what Jordan Lewis did.
No doubt. He's talking about Malik Hooker. We really missed him in a few games. He's an enforcer. When he's half force side, he come down, he hit fit, and he filled the gaps there. And those are things that we needed. I get it. There was a strong push in the campaign for my guy, Wanye, to get out there. But knowing the system is different, right? When you are a football player, you got to read, react, and then explode to that point of contact and make those tackles. We've seen that now that you got up front, you got a Quinnen Williams, you got Clark, you got Osa Diggy Ozua, then you have rotating coming in, Perrion Winfrey. That's going to be the equalizer as well. The edge rushing, just like what the quarterback just lamented, that we worry more about that double A gap and those B gaps. The edges, to neutralize the edges, all you have to do is step inside the pocket. They have to come all the way around, right? And of course, I'm just trying to hold my edges for 3 seconds. It's that interior push where you got to step up through your throws. Now, there are scrambling quarterbacks. Here's the thing. When you scramble to one side of the field, meaning that that's where you are at, that takes you out of the way. You can play better. Now, they do say don't throw across your body to the other side of the field, but once a quarterback leaves the pocket and scrambles to one side of the field, it is, believe it or not, easier to defend. But here's the thing. Quarterbacks nowadays got crazy legs. They can run, they can find space and these sorts of things. And so that's why what Texas Gunn saying, find that spot on Hurts. You got to figure out a spot on him. He got good subtle speed. He's a strong quarterback, and he will gas you with his legs. He don't trust his arm ultimately, but he will throw and close his eyes and say, to Allah, and he'll just throw it, right? In the area where Smitty's supposed to be at. And Smitty, believe it or not, is one of those guys that can high point the ball and pull it out of the sky, right? And AJ, to a degree, he's a bigger wide receiver that he get the benefit of the doubt sometimes, and they're called PI on the opposing team or on the defense, which is neither here nor there. But it's one of those things that is gimmicky. I get it. Right now, the Eagles are 8-2, right? And someone said that he wins 90% of his games and all of these things. I think it was Lord Brunson, LB, yesterday. But it is for what it is. You got to play the full field on those boys. They got talent on every level. Wide receiver, running back, tight end. O-line has been shaky, But the quarterback, all he have to do is not make the mistake, and that's what he's been doing all throughout this year. I think he only had one INT. Is that correct, Cowboy Nation? Hurts only got one INT for the season. So he don't make a lot of mistakes. So what you got to do is, and by him not making a lot of mistakes, he don't take a lot of chances. His average depths of throws are not gaudy. They are dinking and dunking, and occasionally close his eyes to Allah, and throw it into the area where the receiver's supposed to be at. So that's what you got to do, play smart and sound football.
I understand. It's not like the Cowboys players are going to go, oh, Raiders aren't very good. Let's see what happens after this. So I understand if people are like, what are they supposed to say? But I like these quotes. Quinnen Williams, after his Cowboys debut, I think we can transcend to be a great defense. If you think that rhetoric is too high, let's go to something more reasonable. I want to keep stacking these, man.
Yes.
I want to keep stacking these performances, and I want to keep getting better week in and week out. And then here's the thing that I think is your point, and it's just the main goal, man, to keep stacking up the good things, fix the bad things, and win football games.
Yes. There's nothing I.
That's all we got to do, win games, man. They're going to always take away. Their job is to always discount. And I ain't talking about 105. I'm talking about nationally. Their job is always to take away. Is always. Their job is to always sully and denigrate, to spit upon anything that we do. If right now, if we were 8-2, this would be the argument. Oh man, anybody can be 8-2 right now. That's what the Cowboys do. They win the regular season, but can they do it in the postseason? We win a postseason game. They would say, well, can you double that up? Anybody can win at least one postseason game. And the next level would be the Cowboys haven't been there in 30 years, 30 seasons almost. And can they win an NFC championship game? Right? The name of the game is what you guys are seeing in real form, is that it's always Super Bowl or bust. That's the expectation for the Cowboys. Regardless of whether or not we have Shane Gailey, Dave Campo, the expectation's still the same. We had Jason Garrett for 13 years, 13 seasons. Hey, we had this other guy, Wade Phillips. It doesn't matter. Super Bowl or bust, they're going to always pitch that against us, and it's always going to be that conversational piece. Who's better, who's not, this or that. That's just how it goes when you are a Cowboy fan. Like right now, the expectations for the Detroit Lions, they're 6-4. If we had their record right now, they would be talking about, hey, look at the Cowboys. Now it's time for them to slide, right? It's just for what it is. So, yes, we 4-5-1, and we got to win every game convincingly, right? It's just how it is. And even when we do that, we know that goalpost got legs, and it's going to continue to move and move and move. That's just how it goes, Cowboy Nation. There's nothing we can do about that. There's nothing we can do about that. Yeah, at all. Let's listen to this. It's elongated head.
Oh, hell yes. It's definitely over. I mean, it's pretty damn bad. And I have to admit, I'm kind of sad about it because as I've tried to tell people on many, many occasions, I want them relevant and I want them doing well and I want them having the good Thanksgiving or whatever. And I want their expectations to be high and then plummet. I want them falling off a cliff, not a curb. And that's unfortunately not going to be the case because we all know right now they rank 11th in the NFC conference. Do you know that the Dallas Cowboys are 0-5. They are winless when scoring fewer than 37 points. So that just tells you everything you need to know.
We know our defense been worlds of terrible, right? But somehow, one way or another, the Dallas Cowboys still get lumped in as this is a collective unit and this is who the Cowboys are, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, the goalpost is on a treadmill when it comes to us. Yes, indeed, Trey Matic. It's on a treadmill, man. My guy just hit me up with something. Let me see what he talking about. And let me get to it right quick. Bear with me, Cowboy Nation. Let me see what
Leave Cam Scatterboo.
Scam. My guy Cam. All right, what we got here? Boom, boom, boom. Bear with me, Cowboy Nation, because we about to hit up Cowboys collectives in a few seconds. Give me 1 second.
Do you pay a lot of attention to what other receivers around the league do? Like,
hold on, let me get on to.
Nah.
Why not? Gets me upset.
Let that nigga JP!
Yeah, so that was J Tuck. He sent me that, so I thought it was something else, man. But basically, AJ running away from the questioning. Before we dismiss, man, and get ready for the Cowboys collective, I want to say I thank all of you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Do me a huge favor. I think that the Cowboys will, by the way, score points in this game. I think that we can get up to at least to a minimum of 30 points. I think we can. Now, what we need to see, regardless of whether or not you guys like this or not, but what we need to see is dominance. We need to have that, Cowboy Nation. And we would talk more about this in a few. It will be John Machota, Foots the King, Skywalker Steel, and Law Nation. Law Christopher Nation. Yeah, will be me too. But click that link right there. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Come on into the chat area over there. And I'll be looking forward to seeing who all is over here. Come on with it. Okay, give us some 5 stars, man. We're doing some unbelievable tread work over there on the Cowboys collectives. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all. Break their spirit. That's what Big Amish said, and that's exactly what we need to do. Break their spirit. They're worried a little bit. They worried. Their offense haven't been moving and grooving. They're thinking that everything is all right because of the score of 8-2, because of what they just came from, of lifting up in a Lombardi trophy. This week, if you are an Eagle fan, you can be here. You can troll. You can run your mouth. You can talk stuff. We keeping receipts. Don't be hiding, because keep that same energy. When Sunday night hit, and all zeros at the end of the quarters, and the declared victory of the Cowboys being 5-1, and you guys losing a game, being 8-3. Don't hide. Back to your spots. Put BB in the chat. I see you, Paul. They say that prize fighter continue to swing even when he's down, knowing that there's a puncher's chance in the mix. So I'm going to tell you guys, let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's stand tall or not at all. Be sure to tune in to the Cowboys Collective. We got 5 minutes before we jump in over there. But let's talk about heart, soul, and sinew of your mind. I say this on most of all of my closing. And this is about determination. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything taut to your cheek, if life itself ain't this right, MB, over there on the Facebook groove, I rock, I see you, fam. Ace Boogie, appreciate you. Ice Cold Cowboy 7, appreciate you. To work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything taut to your cheek, if life itself seems empty, and useless without it. All that you scheme and dream is about it. If you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan to lose all terror of your beautiful mind, if you will simply, just simply go after the things you want with all of your capacity, strength, and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold or the poverty or the famish of fame or the sickness of that body or brain can turn you all away from the things you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, stand tall or not at all. You will get it. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
Go Birds! Let's go Birds! Eagles!
Everything gon' be alright on any given Sunday, yeah. Depend on you if you win or lose. You know you got to pay some dues to live.